How did you think today's training session went?
It was good. It was nice to be able to train. I know we had the game on Sunday, so some guys we still had to be a little careful with, but we were able to get some good work in today. And I thought it was a very productive session, so I was happy with it.
Even Schitz is out there. How is he coming along?
Coming along. I'm still, not 100%, so we'll see how he, gets through today, and then we'll see how he is on Thursday.
Looks like Lamar and even Valdez might have been limited for 2 days in a row. Is that just kind of to get them a rest, especially with Lamar's?
Valdez, if you saw his shins, you'd know why he's sitting out, because he's got a few bruises on there. I guess there weren't, according to somebody, there weren't a lot of fouls, but somehow his shin got bruised. I don't know how. Maybe the ball causes those bruises. The other aspect, Nagel's played just a ton of minutes, and we need to give Lamar a rest and try and let his body recover. He's had to jump into the breach for us with all the injuries, and we've probably put him out there more often than we really should have in that period of time from a physical standpoint, and we're just trying to give him a chance to recover now.
What is sort of the timings and implications of the call-ins for Papa and for Torres, and then also any update on Dempsey?
Obviously Torres is captain of the Panamanian team. We had discussions with Panama. There's a good relationship there. Not an issue, but they're going through, even though these are, it's international fixture date and they're friendlies in preparation, but they're also, at the stage right now where, they're trying to figure everything out in terms of their players' bonus structure and things like that. And as a captain, he's very important to that discussion for sure. So, it was him and Papa, the opportunity for him to get games, and they're playing World Cup qualifiers that are going to determine whether they advance into the next round or not. So we can't really hold them back if they want them.
Could they play midweek and be ready for San Jose? Next week, that is.
Yeah, they should be. They both play their second game on Tuesday. Papa's in Aruba, is it, in that game? And Torres is in Venezuela, but Venezuela's not that far from Panama, really.
Anything new on Dempsey?
No, it is what it is. I'm sure Jurgen and me are going to talk this week.
ONeill seems to be having a pretty good string of performances here. What have you seen out of him, especially with the move to the left?
Well, it's not his natural spot, he's definitely, came to us as a right back, but ONeill's a gritty guy, he has good pace, and he works hard, he's not afraid to mix it up, for a little guy, he's got a good presence out there on the field, and he's played with good confidence, and I think he's learning and improving all the time.
Does he have a future at that position, you think, or is he going to go back to right back?
No, his left foot's actually pretty good, so he's a guy. One of the reasons we were interested in him is we felt he could play right or left. I think right is his stronger position right now, but it's not that he can't play on the left. He can play on the left as well.
Adding to that, there's been a lot of the Colombian media that is starting to wonder what is it that you have not seen out of Andrés Correa. There's been 2 tournaments, there's been players coming up and down from S2 and players added. However, he has not gotten a chance to play with the team. What have you not seen from him?
Well, with Andrés, it's been a little bit of bad fortune for him too. There was one opportunity that was there, and his wife was pregnant and she was having the baby, so he couldn't play on that particular weekend. And then we had him penciled in to be in the 18 in our Champions League game, and he suffered a toe injury in the practice right before, so that took him out of it as well. So he's had those opportunities. He had an opportunity again playing for S2 the other night. He got taken out at halftime. So obviously you can watch the tape yourself, and so it's performance, but it's also it's just the timing. Every time he's been on the verge of breaking in, something's happened. He's either picked up an injury or, the wife was pregnant. She was also in the hospital for a while. It was a little bit of a complicated birth, and so that took him out for the following weekend as well. So, timing hasn't helped him that way.
I realize you have a few things on your plate here, but do you think that Sunderland seems a logical next spot for Yedlin?
Yeah, I was just asking Chris if Dick Advocaat's still the coach there. Is he still the coach there? You guys know?
He
Is he?
is.
Yeah. So I don't know. Obviously, if they have an interest and they want him, I don't know if they see him as a right midfielder or a right back. But I think for a player, when you're in a situation where you feel you're not going to get playing time, I think you're always a little bit excited going into a situation where you think, hey, this team wants me now, and so that means they'll probably give me an opportunity to play here. So it's a matter of what he does with that opportunity and that playing time.
Do you have any kind of connection with Dick Advocaat?
I mean, I know him, but it's not like we're close friends. No.
I know you guys do a lot of science on health and so forth. Are y'all having any conclusions on why there seems to have been such a run of hamstrings this season?
We've gone over and over that a little bit, so we always look at things, discuss things. We've changed our warm-up a little bit. We think that's helped as well. We're also talking about certain exercises, how many days in a week should we play bigger versus smaller type of thing. So those are always things that we're looking at. Some of them have just been, with Leo, I think you're more inclined to pull a hamstring at 35 than you are at 25. So you have those things in there, and you look at our team. We have some young players, but we're not a young team. If you described us as a team, so you have to look at those situations, some have just been Ozzy for the last 2 years has been on and off injuries, and I think the surgery and coming back and maybe coming back too soon. We had to push him too many minutes maybe when he first came back. So, each situation is different, but we try and look at some common threads that occur within that, and we're always trying to evaluate and make determinations as to what we might have not done as good as we needed to do, or things that we can improve upon.
Was that a consideration during this transfer window to maybe try to get a little bit younger, having this run of injuries and sort of being able to see some of these trends?
You always want to try and get younger, but also our young players had an opportunity, to play in that period of time. And some of the young guys I thought stepped up and did all right, and some of the guys didn't necessarily make full use of their opportunity. So, so we learned a lot that way as well.
With Dempsey coming back and Ozzy coming back, is there any concern maybe you'd have to take out some players that maybe are doing well right now, and they will be obviously taking a back seat to the players coming in?
Well, we'll see. We'll see where they're at. In terms of the Toronto game, and then we'll make those decisions. The object is to try and put the best team on the field, but we also know there's certain guys that are 90 minutes fit, and some guys maybe aren't 90 minutes fit. So you got to have a good balance that way as well.
Is a Toronto team finally over the hump, it seems, for the playoffs? What have you seen out of them this year? What are you kind of expecting to see this weekend?
Well, they're in the East, so that helps. I think it helps all the teams that are there a little bit, but obviously I think they've made great strides. Giovinco's had a fantastic season for them. He's been certainly one of the revelations of the league. Altidore and Bradley, they've got good players. Chirot, who they added in midfield, they've got a number of good attacking pieces into the team. So, and I think a coach given a little bit of time to implement his system and how he wants the team to play, so they have a better feel for him. He has a better feel for them.
With the positive steps that the team has taken over the last few weeks and guys starting to get healthy, do you think all the pieces are starting to fall in place as you make this final stretch, this final run?
Yeah, but they still need to play together. They need to get games together. They need to get training sessions together for that complete understanding to develop. No matter how much you train on it, when the adrenaline hits and the game hits and the emotion hits and the crowd's there, then you see what people's natural inclinations are and their decisions are, and they have to play with each other again to understand, how they all play. So, the first time Dempsey steps on the field and is on the field with Valdez, that'll be the first time he's on the field in the game with Valdez. So all those those things take time to develop. The first couple of games that Dempsey and Ova played together weren't the same as when they were playing their 20th game together. It certainly changes.
Is there any concern then that time is running out, that there's only a few games left for them to find that chemistry?
Time is what it is, so we need to get points. You know, so we need to get points. That's why I'm not going to apologize for Sunday's game. You know, it's a situation of getting 3 points, and we got 3 points. And you know, like I said, I think the better soccer will follow, and we got to continue to get 3 points and make sure the soccer keeps following.
With Toronto without the services of Giovinco and Altidore this weekend, what does that shift, if at all, your defense's points of emphasis?
Well, you never know with Giovinco. I wouldn't count him out entirely at this stage, you know, because it's an adductor. Is it a strain? Is it something he recovers from a little bit quickly? Maybe the national team says, we don't want to rehab you here, so go back home. So, you know, we play on Saturday. You never know. Altidore, you know, getting called into the full team, I mean, obviously takes away a piece from them up front, you know, but they've had other people, you know, that have played there. Luke Moore that's played there, you know, Robbie Finley that's played there. So they've got other options up there.